Fate inescapably draws you on. What a putrid offering. Don't fight. You have been chosen. Everything has already been written. But perhaps you will attempt to change your destiny.
I hate whiskey. I used to be an avid reader. Been too long since I've slept in a bed. The Wentworth Agency doesn't attract top-notch cases. Married woman runs off with her girlfriend. The husband couldn't understand it. A good old story of blackmail in a speakeasy. Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology. Been a while since I jotted down something other than my nightmares. I have business here to attend to. I'm listening.
Are you Edward Pierce? Private investigator contracted by the Wentworth Detective Agency?
That's correct.
Hello, Mr. Pierce. I'm Lucy Sherifield, in charge of investigators over at Wentworth. I'm calling because of a problem with your file. A fire has destroyed some of our documents.
Is that right?
I'm so very sorry, but I have to collect your personal information yet again. Our files will soon be up to date. And on a related matter, may I raise a sensitive question?
What's wrong?
As you know, we wish to closely monitor the progress of our contractors. And it would seem you've been accepting fewer new cases.
Work is scarce.
Mr. Pierce, you know as well as I do, there's never been more investigative work than now.
But are those cases worth it?
They're worth not losing your license. Show yourself worthy of the Wentworth Detective Agency, and we might keep you on the payroll. Mr. Pierce, are you still...
I'm coming.
Sir, I came here on the advice of a person whom I hold in high esteem, and I must say that I expected anything but a drunkard's lair.
You're free to leave anytime, sir.
Do you know to whom you speak?
Stephen Webster, industrialist and art collector. All of Boston knows you.
Tell me, Mr. Pierce, are you capable of handling a new case, or are you simply a deadbeat inebriate?
If you come to me, It means you're desperate.
Nobody believes me. They take me for an old fool. Sarah, my little girl, she is dead. Even you must know of her. She was Sarah Hawkins.
The painter? Yes. Everyone knows her work.
The police accuse her of killing her family. They all died in a fire. Sarah, her husband, and Simon, my grandson.
I can't do anything for a woman who is already dead.
Find out the truth. They say she was mad, but I know that's a lie. She would never have done such a thing.
But if you have no proof...
I've brought all that I have. Look. I want you to look carefully at this painting. Tell me all the assumptions that come to mind.
What am I supposed to find?
Tell me if this is the work of madness. Or if, on the contrary, you manage to detect some logic, a rationality to follow so that I may understand it.
Is that all you want from me?
Yes, please.
All right. I'll look at your picture. That's all you've got? The painting?
I placed a file on your desk. It contains everything I have on the affair.
A warehouse on Darkwater. Some sketches of the Hawkins family. Rather thin. It's as if Sarah Hawkins breathed a message into it.
So, Mr. Pierce, what do you make of these elements?
The meaning could be exactly as it appears. I think your daughter is sending you a message.
That's what I believe, too. It was 3 months ago that I received the call from the police telling me of my daughter's death. And yet a short while after, this painting was delivered to my home. The painting is linked to this case, can't you see? You must find the meaning behind all this.
Her husband was a big deal on the island. But the police are sticking to the accident theory. Though they mentioned Sarah's mental state was fragile. I believe you are right, sir. This case is not as simple as it appears.
I am aware of that. I believe there is more to this case than just an accident.
You must tell me if what the police suggest about the mental state of your daughter is true.
No. Sarah had visions. Everyone knew that. She never would have hurt a fly. She only thought she saw things.
Saw things? What do you mean by that?
I never knew what she meant by that. My daughter was an enigmatic figure, Mr. Pierce. You must find out the truth about her life and death.
Darkwater? Never heard of the place. Where is that?
It's a small, remote island off the coast of Boston. Sarah lived there with her son and her husband.
I suppose you want to ship me off there.
Darkwater holds the secret regarding my daughter, Mr. Pierce. You must uncover it.
The sender's label mentions Warehouse 36.
That's right. It came with Sarah's last painting.
And you think your daughter could have been the sender?
That is what you must find out. Go to Darkwater. Find Warehouse 36.
The sender's label mentions where...
That's right.
And you...
Go...
I think I'm beginning to understand.
I'm willing to do anything for my daughter to recover her honor.
Quiet down. I'm on your side. Let's sum things up. An artist dies with her family in a house fire. Your only clue is a sort of promontory painting sent from Darkwater right before her death.
Correct. And the rumors about her supposed folly.
Which you don't totally deny.
Find that warehouse. Find out the truth regarding Sarah Hawkins' death. You'll be handsomely compensated.
All right. I'll take the case. I'll go to Darkwater and look into the death of your daughter.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce. I didn't expect any less coming from a man in your situation.
Something's queer. But it's not like I have a choice. Darkwater. I think I've got a book on the North Atlantic. I'll no doubt find some information on this island in there. I used to be an avid reader. Darkwater is off the coast of Boston, but I've never heard of it. According to this book, it was often mentioned during whale hunting times at the end of the 19th century, but it seems to have been shunned since then. All I have to do is go to the port. I just hope that I can find a boat able to take me to Darkwater. Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology.
almost there. Stay on board. There's guys coming to unload. Welcome to Darkwater Island, Mr. Pierce.
Why, thank you, Captain Fitzroy.
So, what wind brought you?
Does the Hawkins case mean anything to you?
A sad story that we would all prefer to forget. Charles Hawkins may have been a landlubber, but he was a good man.
And his wife, Sarah Hawkins.
A nice young woman, and a great painter. What a tragedy. You know what? Go have a drink at the Stranded Whale. What you need is a good pick-me-up. Mitchell may not be very welcoming, but his bar holds a surprise for you. As for me, you'll find me at the Harbor Master's office. If it's the Hawkins family that brings you here, I have a pile of documents that should interest you.
Understood. I'm going for a look around the docks.
Let the police do their work. Hey, Sullivan. Can't you go any faster?
Only a specialist would know what killed it.
You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign.
This...
Don't treat me like another one of these locals. You're completely overwhelmed, and you could do with reinforcements.
What are you thinking? That you can call the National Guard to an island like Darkwater? For a stranded fish? Gosh darn, Mr. Not like another one of these locals. Go give your valuable advice somewhere else, huh? Now, please, allow me to do my job.
You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's some...
You can see that I'm beat.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters! You're crazy! They're cops. They can't understand.
But you can stay to watch if you want. You can pick up the pieces.
Come on, you
There's
bastard.
nothing for you here either.
You'll see what a true
Beat
sailor's
it.
got in his belly. You hear that? You bilge rats don't scare me. Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters! You're crazy! They're cops. They can't...
What?
You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign.
What?
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy.
They're cops. They can't understand.
Damn stupid idiots.
Hey, be careful. Let's get him another drink. He's dry.
In my bar, we don't serve troublemakers.
Yet you served this man, and you can't say he's been on his best behavior.
He's a regular. It was you who provoked him by turning up with your mainland manner.
You mistake my manner. I ask nothing more than to become a regular as well, which will be difficult if you refuse to serve me.
I hope you're less talkative when you're drunk.
Try me.
We'll see.
I didn't expect to find alcohol on this island. What's the source of this miracle?
You mean who? Our source of supply wouldn't like me to betray them to the first comer.
I'll tell nobody.
She'd know it anyway. Anything else?
Do you know where this place is? Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
The Hawkins warehouse. I see, yeah. If I were you, I wouldn't hang around there.
Why not?
First off, there are rumors. Sailors from around here say you can hear noises coming from the warehouse at night. Screams, that sort of thing.
Screams?
And that's not all. There's the fate of its owners and all the superstitions that go with it. But I'll say no more. Anything else?
The stranded whale. I guess this bar has been here a long time.
What can I tell you? I'm a nostalgic sort of guy. The name, it reminds us of the golden age of Darkwater, when our whalers left for long months and came back sweating and stinking of the oil and flesh of the whales they'd been hunting.
It was a tough time, all the same.
Ah, but steeped in glory. We've never known such wealth since then.
What can you tell me about her?
We all knew she was famous on the mainland for her paintings. Never understood why. Then, I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
Her style made her famous. How would you describe it? Tortured?
Yeah, well, it wasn't normal. I mean, for a young woman with a child and all that. We saw them in the papers and we said to ourselves, who can paint such things? Is that how she sees the world?
So they made you feel uncomfortable?
You need to see them for yourself. Make up your own mind.
Her vision. Was it so terrible?
Way I see it, the truth is really a question of point of view.
What do you mean by that?
Do you still trust the truth after a bottle of whiskey?
I've got what I need.
Anything else?
What can you tell me about her?
We all knew she was then.
I've got
Anything?
Captain Fitzroy told me about a little pick-me-up.
You want a drink?
I wouldn't say no to a glass.
Try this.
I think we'll get along well. Captain Fitzroy told me about...
You want it?
Same again, please.
Here you go.
That's no moonshine.
You can say that again. House recipe.
Captain Fitzroy told me about...
You want a drink?
One more, but it'll be the last.
They all say that.
There's rye in that.
Looks like Monsieur is a connoisseur. Not bad for a guy from the city.
What can you tell me?
We all...
I've got...
Anything else?
That'll be all for now. Charles Hawkins was a heavy drinker. And a debtor. Interesting.
And then he said, "You have no right to treat us like this."
And the doctor, what did he say?
He laughed.
The miraculous catch. Apparently, the most significant event of the last 80 years.
My God.
You said
Do you like our song?
We're true sirens.
We may not be pros, but we give it all we've got.
That's true. It's a reminder of the time when we were still fishing for whales off Darkwater Island.
What brought whaling to an end?
The whales, of course.
They all disappeared.
You exhausted the stocks.
You could say that, yes. There were fewer and fewer of them.
Until the last, the biggest.
The one of the miraculous catch.
Exactly.
I've never heard this song before.
Only people from here know it. It tells the story of the miraculous catch.
I saw the newspaper clipping. You don't believe it, do you?
Watch what you say, young man.
That catch saved our island.
Ah. Where's the proof?
We're the proof.
Without it, the whole of Darkwater would have died of hunger in 1847.
It's true. Everything happened just as it says in the newspaper report. Our grandparents tasted its flesh.
And it was delicious.
I bid you farewell, gentlemen.
Good night, stranger.
So long.
What you looking at, stranger?
I've rarely seen a woman who can hold her liquor so confidently.
What gives you the right to judge me?
Ah, it was a compliment.
So what? Let me drink, stranger. I told you to beat it.
Broken. This place seems half abandoned. Fishing equipment. Could do with some rust remover. A souvenir from a more prosperous era. I guess this blackboard hasn't been wiped for more than 70 years. The Scylla. It finished up beached at the entrance to the harbor. This man and Fitzroy could be twins. What a macabre souvenir. I wonder what Captain Fitzroy has got to say about this woman, Cat.
I've brought out the Charles Hawkins cargo manifests. They're on the table next to you. But in truth, you're likely to be disappointed. When you're done, come join me on the deck.
These manifests are signed by Charles Hawkins, but that's all I'll get from them.
From here, I see everything that goes on in the harbor. The hard-working lives of my sailors, the fights at the stranded whale. Even the antics of these wharf rats don't escape me.
It's you who lays down the law around here.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm just the last serving captain on Darkwater. Tell me what I can do to help you.
Your manifests have been blacked out. They're totally unreadable.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got no idea who did it or why. I don't remember having countersigned anything special enough for someone to hide it.
And why obliterate the dates, as well as the goods stored in the warehouse?
You mean that the dates have some meaning?
I'm surprised Charles Hawkins had goods to store, knowing that whaling stopped in 1847.
I see that you're interested in the history of our island. Indeed, maritime activities ceased altogether at the end of the last century. I imagine that the Hawkins family had other types of contracts.
But you don't know with whom?
No, it was none of my business.
I'm looking for Warehouse 36. Do you know where it is?
Look, it's right there. The warehouse is opposite the jetty. You can't miss it.
Understood.
You know who the building belongs to, don't you?
It belonged to the Hawkins family.
Precisely. Ship owners from father to son.
I think that somebody here wanted me to search this warehouse. I found a threatening letter, signed by a certain cat.
What? I don't mind you visiting my harbor master's office, but I'd prefer if you didn't go through my affairs.
Are you being blackmailed?
Not exactly, no. That shyster wants to make us pay protection money.
With any success?
I wouldn't say that, but she terrifies my men as much as her own.
Can you not do anything to stop her?
Don't you worry about that.
I was looking at your photograph. The one of the man in front of the boat.
Ah, yes, I can see the one you're talking about.
Interesting resemblance. I thought it was you, but with a wooden leg.
And for good reason. That's my father in the photograph.
Your father?
John Fitzroy, captain of the Scylla. His wooden leg is here. You can go and see it if you're interested.
I'm just back from the wharves. The dead killer whale is unsettling the sailors.
Ah, yes. Us men of the sea are superstitious folk.
The police took the decision to put the killer whale back into the sea.
You've got to understand them. They didn't know what to do with it.
I think that was a mistake. Who says that whatever caused those wounds is no longer in these waters?
You think we should have kept it?
To look into the real cause of its death, at least. Killer whales don't have many known predators.
That's true. And normally, they're not found around here. But, you're gonna take me for a fool.
Give it a try.
Have you heard about the depths? Trenches that plunge into the earth, and that shelter creatures unlike any other.
You're talking about mythology.
Ha! Indeed, you're right.
The miraculous catch. Is it a local legend?
Not at all. It's an episode from our glorious past. Go read the story of the sailor's return to Darkwater Harbor. It's displayed on a wall of the stranded whale.
I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters! You're crazy!
They're cops.
You can see that I'm busy.
You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming. Something real bad.
What?
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters! You're crazy!
Cops. They can't understand.
Desecrated. Looks like Phoenician. Or a very primitive runic script. I've never seen anything like it. There. Hello, old friend. You live here?
Why did you do that, huh?
We saw what you did to St. Brendan.
Yeah, we'll teach you to come onto our island and ridicule our protectors.
I've never heard of this saint. Is it a local belief?
But everyone knows St. Brendan, the Navigator.
He's the patron saint of whales and whalers.
What happened to the statue?
Go see for yourself. He's at the end of the jetty.
There's you, our beloved statue, and then those two bozos behind us. Wait, now that I think about it, it's got to be them. There's one of them who's always going back and forth to the statue.
Quieter. That's all we need for them to hear us.
What brings you to dark water?
The two guys behind you. What are they guarding?
The bootleggers. Scum.
They're protecting their territory. From whom, I wonder?
They really don't have a choice anyway. They're more scared of Cat than an attack by drunken sailors.
If only they would kill each other.
Is it Cat who's shaking down Captain Fitzroy?
Hold on just a minute. We didn't tell you a thing.
Nothing at all.
That statue represents your local saint.
What do you mean by local, exactly?
You wouldn't be looking down at us, like all townspeople do.
St. Brendan. He protected whalers and fishermen like us. Until those assholes defaced him.
Peculiar house.
Yeah, that's where we live. Our boat.
It's not because it doesn't float anymore that we're going to abandon it.
Isn't it a bit early for alcohol?
We got nothing better to do anyway. There's not much work around here.
Fitzroy gives us a few chores every now and again, but since the whaling station shut down, ain't a lot of jobs left around here.
So we drink.
I've taken enough of your time.
We'll see you later.
Why, you could tell me. No, if it gets out, I'll have serious problems with you-know-who.
How could you be dumb enough to leave the entrance to the warehouses unguarded?
Keep your voice down. Why not go and shout at the cat while you're at it? I don't want to end up with her little knife under my throat.
It's a stiletto, you idiot. And with that smell on your breath, I don't give you much chance anyway. Who's this guy?
No idea. You better keep it shut. What's with you wandering around here like a hungry dog?
We saw you talking to the two soaks. Go die of thirst, the lot of you. It'll stink less.
I've got to enter the Hawkins warehouse. I guess it's going to be complicated.
No, it's very simple, in fact. Fuck off.
I don't give a damn about your racket. I just want to get into this warehouse.
And we don't give a damn about you. Whatever your reason for wanting inside, there's nothing we can do for you.
I went to see the statue of St. Brendan.
What makes you think we did it?
We're bootleggers, not savages.
Who do you think defaced the statue?
What do I know? They could have done it by themselves.
The sailors?
Who else, in your opinion? And who's interested?
Kat. She's your boss.
What? You listen through keyholes?
She's the boss, yeah. She says who goes in or not.
Shut up, you dummy. You wanted to know that you also talk too much.
She must be quite intimidating if she can make two men like you tremble.
She redid the smile at the last one who wanted to get in.
I hope you had a good dentist.
No, you don't understand. She really cut him a new smile.
But he only smiles with the left cheek.
She sounds frightening, your boss.
And she doesn't like to be talked about behind her back.
So, who are you?
Are you stupid or are you doing it on purpose?
Everybody knows us on Darkwater.
I've just arrived.
Let's just say we're standing guard for the owner of the site. And we let no one enter her property.
What are you guarding, exactly?
Listen, bonehead, we already told you that we're guarding our boss's turf.
I bid you gentlemen farewell.
Where do you think you're going?
Who are these others so interested in the warehouse?
And why would I tell you?
You and I are on the same side of the law.
Oh, yeah?
You don't want to know the truth behind this case.
Are you saying our work was not up to snuff? Forget it.
I'm not here to hinder your work, officer. Edward Pierce, private detective.
Sorry, we're all a little on edge today. What are you doing here?
I'm investigating the death of the Hawkins family.
Darn it. Why do you want to drag up all that stuff again?
My investigation has led me to this warehouse.
That case was closed months ago.
What more can you say about the death of the Hawkins family?
Not much more than what everyone knows. I wasn't on the case. They were all burnt to death, right? Up at their place.
The whole mansion went up in flames.
Don't get it into your head to go wandering around up there. It's dangerous.
What do you mean by that?
The only one left there is old Silas, and the accident has affected him badly. He can be unpredictable, especially if a stranger starts poking around the property.
Is he a danger to the public?
No, he's in his own home. Do yourself a favor. Leave him well alone. You again?
No need.
Something coming. Something real bad.
What? Another break?
One of those damn sailors came looking for trouble again.
But he won't try again anytime soon. We gave him a good hiding.
So you said to yourselves that after such a feat, you could abandon your post.
It's just a little drink. We taught those guys a lesson.
We'll return right after. It's just that standing guard in this alley makes your throat dry.
That fool Fitzroy can't keep his dogs on a leash.
I'll have to send him a more clear-cut message. I told you to beat it.
What can I get you?
What do you know about the Hawkins warehouse?
If I were you, I wouldn't hang around there.
Why not?
First off, there are rumors. Sailors from around here say you can hear noises coming from the warehouse at night. Screams, that sort of thing.
Screams?
And that's not all. There's the fate of its owners and all the superstitions that go with it. But I'll say no more. Anything else?
That'll be all for now.
Do you like...
We may...
That's true.
I heard the Hawkins family owned a warehouse on the docks.
An old family of ship owners.
Tell me something I don't already know.
They were made much richer by the miraculous catch.
You shouldn't talk about the dead like that.
We're not speaking ill, we're just saying that Daniel Hawkins made a fortune without taking any risk.
There! You're speaking ill, you see!
It's your proof that the miraculous catch really did happen.
I bid you farewell, gentlemen.
Good night, stranger.
So long.
And then he said, "You have no right to treat us like this."
Prohibition is just a joke around here. That suits me fine.
You're back again. What can I...
These bootleggers seem unwilling to let anyone approach the warehouses.
They're part of the private property I mentioned earlier.
And yet the place looks abandoned. Why guard the entrance?
As a precaution, I suppose. All the warehouses are more or less interconnected by old sewers.
You mean that there's a way to go from one to the other by tunnel?
I couldn't tell you if it's still the case today for all the warehouses on the island, but I think I can imagine what you've got in mind. You can always visit them if you're not the claustrophobic type.
You saw what happened with those sailors. Don't hang around here unless you want trouble with the bootleggers.
I've seen the kind of messages their boss sends. You're not scared of her.
Of course I am. Everyone's scared of that woman. She's not interested in small fry like me. You, on the other hand, nose around too much, you'll have dealings with her.
This warehouse looks abandoned. Why does it interest them so much?
No doubt a question of territory, but I ain't asking. You want to know more, go ask the captain.
Good. Thank you. I shall take my leave.
Oh, yeah. He's gonna get us into trouble. The cops, they can't understand.
Damn stupid idiots.
This tunnel goes under the warehouses. I could use this old winch to lift the grating, but it's been completely taken to bits. There must be some spare parts amid all this clutter. It should be possible to mount this cogwheel on the winch. A whale vertebra. If the newspaper clipping in the bar is true, this bone is a real fossil. A ratchet device. Exactly what I need. This handle will be perfect for the winch. Looks like everything is in its place. All I have to do is turn this handle. I hope. I hope it's not toxic. I hope... I hope it's not... This is primitive. Oh, this place stinks. What is the connection between this place and the Sarah Hawkins case? The glass is shattered, like someone smashed it. Was it before or after the removal of these bandages? Who has enough money to buy painkillers, but stays in a place like this? It smells as bad as it looks. Can't sleep. I know how that feels. Le Petit Parisien. Who might keep a news clipping about Sarah Hawkins? What is this picture of Charles and Sarah Hawkins doing here? Is this one of Sarah Hawkins' paintings?
Someone has settled in here.
And whoever it is has something to tell me about the Hawkins case. Is there anyone in there? You! Don't move! The Hawkins case has been wound up. Let the dead rest in peace.
You sent your men away. Bad idea. I see only one overweight police officer and one hardened veteran.
How dare you? I am a representative of the law.
Relax. Look what I found. Can you explain what this painting is doing here?
This strange portrait. Wait, I know it. It was in the Hawkins mansion when we came to investigate the fire.
So you confirm that it was removed from the crime scene? Interesting. I'd like to go and see the mansion now.
Of course. You want to go back along his trail. I'd like to understand how this painting made it to here. Come on. My car's parked down the way. Andrews, would you please shut the door? And open your eyes, damn it. This guy went right under your nose. God damn it. Her again. This case has nothing to do with you, Baker. Clear the passage or I'll shut you up for obstruction.
Officer Bradley, you've finally grown a pair. Too bad you're too fat to see them down there.
Why, you...
Come on, keep the smile. You don't want to force me to widen it.
Okay, I get it. Can we go to the mansion now?
Who the hell are you? What were you doing on my turf? I've got my eye on you. We'll meet again.
Is it far, this mansion?
Look behind you, at the top of the ridge. You see the building? That's the Hawkins mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do. Well, here we are. Hawkins Mansion. The place has been abandoned since the fire. There's only old Winchester in his hut.
Your partner, Andrews, warned me against him.
You managed to get something out of that bum? I'll end up asking you for advice.
He talks too much. He inferred that old Silas was slightly unhinged.
That's not far off the mark, I suppose. But kinda unfair at the same time. You know, Silas Winchester has been working for the Hawkins family as far back as I can remember. Charles was like a son to him. The day of the fire, he lost his whole family, so he's got nowhere to go. And, as you'll see, in a way, he's still watching over them. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Or do you want to go up there?
You're the one who looked after the Hawkins case.
Don't think I was trying to hide it. It's just that this discovery shakes my convictions.
That's why you're so keen to find out who removed the painting from the mansion.
Yes. If something escaped us, or if there's been a law enforcement error, then it's up to the police to make good its mistake. Anything else?
I see no scorched trees or fire damage on the building.
You're pretty damn observant, ain't you? The fire was quickly contained. Old Silas acted as soon as he could.
Not soon enough to save the Hawkins.
They were trapped in the drawing room. And don't go troubling Silas anymore. His guilt torments him enough as it is. Are we gonna take a closer look at this mansion, or do you have other questions?
You won't get me to believe that it looked any better 3 months ago.
It's a very old building, you know? Its foundations would probably date from the arrival of the first settlers.
It's got nothing to do with Charles Hawkins' debts.
Ha! You've already begun to nose around, it would seem. So, since you already know it, the Hawkins family couldn't afford the upkeep of this house. It remains to be seen what they did with all their money. I wager it was Charles Hawkins' travels. Let's go up there. Unless you still have questions.
I prefer to be prepared if there's going to be trouble.
It's a wise attitude. But apart from old Silas and some rotten floorboards, there's nothing to worry about.
Could he be a problem?
Strictly speaking, he ain't dangerous. But since the tragedy, he's been a little touched. Though he's a remarkably sturdy man, given his age. A true force of nature.
A sad old man doesn't worry me.
Gee, if you don't want to listen to my advice, we might as well go. Right?
Night falls quickly here, and I want to be able to see when we arrive.
I'll go with you, if only to reassure Silas.
Why not? You can help.
Right. Let's go.
I must say, it's pretty gloomy.
So, Detective, does this place inspire any thoughts?
Do you know if Charles Hawkins had any enemies?
Not to our knowledge. He was a well-respected personality on the island. I don't understand. Silas would never have let such a thing happen.
Why were they buried here?
I was given to believe that it was Charles Hawkins' wish.
Strange idea. I imagine Webster wasn't too pleased.
Mrs. Hawkins' father? It's said that he's devastated.
Let's go to the mansion.
Please give me a minute. I didn't expect to set foot back here after the burial. What kind of deranged individual would defile this sanctuary? And steal a burnt painting? I don't see Silas doing such a thing. Let alone allowing it. Even that broad baker is above that. Lord, have pity on this poor family.
The flowers on Sarah Hawkins' grave are fresh. The old caretaker must be very attached to her. Someone must really hate Charles Hawkins. Poor kid. recently fallen. It's as if all life has abandoned the place. This entrance is still in use.
Whoa! Whoa! You were trying to force the door, you nosy prick!
Easy, sir, all right? Put down the axe.
You know what we do with rubble like you? We gut them. Dump them into the ocean.
Whoa! You're Mr. Winchester. Lower that axe, and let's talk calmly.
I'll show you how we have it out on Darkwater.
You haven't forgiven yourself. You stay here to honor the memory of the deceased.
That's true. I want no more violence. No more tragedy.
It's painful to be the last one left.
You don't know how right you are. Understood. I'm listening.
The police report describes a domestic accident, but Stephen Webster has several reasons to believe that this may not be the case.
Webster is as stubborn as an old mule. And I did tell him that we should let the dead rest in peace.
He wants to restore the reputation of his daughter. I just need to see where the fire started.
No, I can't let you in. The mansion isn't safe.
That's why you barricaded the entrance.
That's right.
And this door?
It's locked, and I make sure it stays that way.
You still put flowers on her grave. You cherish her memory.
Mrs. Hawkins was an exceptional person. She cared for everyone around her.
Let me shed a light on what happened to her. Give me that key.
I'm probably making a big mistake, but it won't be the first. Here, take the key and do what you have to do. Go on, then, just to get rid of you.
Let's see what more I can learn from this mansion.
What now?
This gate is locked. Bourbon. Empty, of course. The poor wretch seems to spend the best part of his time isolated from the world. Rather Spartan. The caretaker has simple tastes. I know a thing or two about solitude myself.
Pierce, shall we enter?
I'll have to find another entrance.
I'm with you. Follow me. I know the place.
Who